Black revolutionaries, distillery owners, Italian fashion retailers, and Motown Grammy winners all share their best stories never before told in any other media outlets on Detroit is Different. Visit DetroitisDifferent.com or download the Detroit is Different app on Apple's App Store or Google's Play Store.
Back in effect in the Detroit is Different studios. It is June 4th, 2018. We are in full effect of summer. Juneteenth coming up. The Detroit fireworks coming up. My Golden State Warriors are about to win another championship. And all types of good things are happening. But this week, we got an opening of something that's entrepreneurial, Black empowered, as they call it, Black girl magic. Let's see, what other adjectives can we go from there? Straight up independent, melanated love. Right. Julia in the house, a home of my friend Caitlin. Julia, how are you doing today?
Hi, how are you? I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Yes. And you go on Facebook Live. Shout out to Jay Rainey, who says she's going to watch. Jay, mad love. Hopefully you getting back in full spirits and everything, grinding, gallivanting across the world with kids from Detroit. We love that. Finding Mona Lisa. Ain't no telling where she going to be next.
Oh, my gosh, right.
Be in Japan. Showing kids, God knows what arts. Showing kids from Mac and Connor. Like, this is a lot.
Right.
Like, the guy that did the rap snacks can draw better than this.
Yes. He is funny.
So, we're going to start this off like we always start. Detroit is Different interviews. Detroit and your family. Are you a first generation, second generation Detroiter? What's happening with your family in Detroit?
So my family has been living in Detroit all of our life. I think my grandmother actually was from Alabama, who is now passed away. And we love her so much. But
the question always becomes, because it's like different sects of people in Detroit. Like, it's a lot of Alabamans.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of people from Georgia.
It is.
And it sure is a lot of people from Mississippi. And it's funny, like, different neighborhoods pick different places just due to family. So, what part of Alabama?
I'm not even sure. I never got a chance to have that conversation with her. Our relationship was, kind of close, but we never got a chance to really dig into her past. So I just know that piece of information from her. But then from generations on up, everyone has been living in Detroit.
Okay, so when you talk about living in Detroit, now we get into what neighborhood in Detroit?
So my immediate family is on the east side of Detroit in the Grasher and Harbor area.
Where a lot of Alabamans were.
Yes.
Like the great Coleman Young.
Yes.
Amongst many others from Alabama to Detroit. So Gratiot Harper. That's a interesting intersection just all around. Like, it's like neighborhood bars over there, barbecue places.
It's a lot of different stuff over there.
And then just a different sense of community. What was it like growing up over there?
It was a little different, I would say. Well, it wasn't really that bad. The only thing I didn't like about the community is we got the chance to ride the wave on seeing it not at its best, or seeing it really turn into a more area of poverty with the influence of drugs and other different things that came into the neighborhood. So when we first actually moved over there, beautiful area, a lot of greenery, a very nice place just for a family to grow up and be raised on the east side, like this little bitty, like, hidden section almost. But now it has become an area that is not so great to raise a family in. But it looks like they are trying to turn things around, cleaning up the community. There are a lot of those small or urban farms popping up in that area. So it looks like it's taking a turnaround for the best.
Okay, so high school. What school were you from?
I went to Kettering.
K.E.
Class of 2001.
Okay, I'm an 01 person as well, so that's what's up. And let me say this, Kettering still has like a good culture, like Cooley and some of the other ones. Like the Kettering cookout that happens every year.
I never go to it.
May be like one of the most highly attended events
It is.
I've ever seen
In Detroit,
Yeah,
even
it's
if you
like-
didn't go to Kettering.
I know it's like cars from basically the service drive of Van Dyke
All the way down. All the way down. It's like a party. It's this big party.
So what was Kettering like for you as far as the culture there, the teachers there? What was the experience?
Well, number one, that's where I met my husband when I was in high school, even though he went to another high school. So high school was amazing for me. But I had to find my own way.
So was it like a party? See, if you're 01, so was it a party at like CJ's or the Indigo Ballroom or something like that where y'all met or something?
No, we met at the Renaissance Center. This is the funniest story ever. Now I got to tell our backstory.
Okay.
Black
we met love. I'm all for it. Black marriage is yes.
We met at the Renaissance Center. I actually worked at McDonald's and he worked at Harmony House. That's how you know this is so old, because this is non-existent.
Yo, I may have bought
Harmony House.
I may have bought a couple albums from that Harmony House because I bought my Slim Shady EP. I bought that.
Take a really good look. He was there.
Horrible Second Method Man album. For $18.99. See, that's
overpriced.
Yeah, exactly.
Harmony House. And I was in there one day just like browsing with a friend because of course I'm not about to buy I wasn't going to buy any CDs from Harmony House. They were just overpriced. And he asked me could I get him a what was it, a strawberry parfait. A strawberry parfait. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to get you one. And as soon as I got out of his eyesight, I was like running to get this strawberry parfait because I thought he was cute.
Hilarious.
And I brought it back and he ate it. And then he asked me for my phone number after.
Yeah, that was the you had to write down a phone number days.
Yeah, you have to write down a phone number. Yeah. So that's how we met and we've been together ever since. That was 1999.
Ain't that something? It's not even Renaissance Center in Love. That was like the movie theater closed for a second, but that was back when it was still open.
Actually the first place we went on a date.
Wow.
Was in that movie theater.
What movie did you all see?
We didn't watch it.
Hilarious. What movie was playing?
I don't know. It wasn't the Lion. Was it Lion King?
It was a replay of Lion King?
I don't know. It probably was. I was too busy hugging and kissing. Like, I love you so much. You didn't even watch it. Didn't even watch the movie.
Up in there caking. In the back row.
In the back row. Yeah.
So with this, mom and dad, what did they do?
So my mother was a stay-at-home mom. She took care of me and my two brothers. And
older or younger?
They're younger. I'm actually the oldest.
Ain't that something?
In my immediate circle. I'm the oldest in my immediate circle. And my father was an independent contractor, and he did that for years until he retired maybe about 9-10 years ago, I think, something like that. Yeah.
So contracting, like building trades, contracting.
Yep.
Did he? So what was the style of his work generally?
Basically, almost everything.
So it was residential and it was commercial.
Residential and commercial. So he did both. Which is super awesome because that's something that he passed down to my brothers, and so that's a trade that that'll always be like in a family. So that's pretty cool.
As that's happening, just with so many opportunities popping up with a lot of the building trades, and being that your father was existent doing that at that time and age, as I look, if you graduated 01, you're like me, it was a different Detroit era as things have ebbed and flowed. And as things are flowing, a lot of us, meaning a lot of black people, aren't involved in a lot of these skills and trades. Some of it, they say, due to licensing and regulation, and are people certified, and some of it not the work, or some of it just for whatever take. What's some of the perspectives that your dad has on a lot of the development happening in Detroit right now?
He likes the development side of it. I think the only thing that he really doesn't care for too much is that factor of it, because in his era, or back in his day, you were able to just basically teach it to one another, and then you were able to find work like handyman work, whether if it was in your neighborhood or picking up maybe a side job for another business or something like that. But it has changed so much to where now you do need different certifications or licensing and things like that.
Yeah, boy!
Public Enemy's Minister of Information, Professor Griff, celebrates the 30-year anniversary of the best hip-hop album ever. Thursday, June 28th, 2018, at the Jam Handy. Witness a special Behind the Music unsung tribute to Public Enemy's It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back album. Hip-hop performances from Mahogany Jones, Kari Way Frazier, and more will honor the landmark album.
Anything like that to actually do contract work.
Okay, so what about your brother's takes?
My brother, he actually was working through the skills that he learned. He actually got a really good job through a business. I'm not going to say their name. He got a really good job through a business. So it can be beneficial because sometimes it is about the connections that you make with certain people in order to get into certain places. But yeah, that was really good for him. But he still uses some of his work, but mostly he has gotten to his career in the medical field.
Okay. All right. Now, we talk about all of this, and you grew up in a household of entrepreneurship. So this has led you into your journey in entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
So when did you start, and what's the business you got?
Let me give this first, the reason why I started.
Okay.
I started my own business because I discovered that I am a horrible employee. I don't like a lot of unnecessary, unfair rules. And then I don't like a certain set work schedule.
Okay, so how did that McDonald's work out for you as a kid?
This is where I learned.
It was like at 14. At 14.
This is how I learned this. I actually worked at a McDonald's and a KFC.
When they said clean the bathroom, I was
no more.
I need to own my own establishment.
Working for a business like that is really eye-opening. I worked for a McDonald's, a Kentucky Fried Chicken, and a Taco Bell before.
Hey, shout out. I've done, let's see. We've eyed Taco Bell. That was tough. I've done Taco Bell. I've done Pizza Hut.
Yes.
I've done Burger King. And I've also worked at the Comerica Park. So I've done a gambit of food service jobs as well. And yeah, Taco Bell was the toughest because it was just so many different ingredients.
Oh my gosh.
Burger King, it was just like everything is basically the same. Just
same with McDonald's.
Whereas with Taco Bell, it's like, oh, you didn't put guacamole on that. It's
rough.
like, yo, it's
going
to be a Nacho Bell Grande today.
Yeah. And I just knew, like, working for different places like that, and even some other jobs that I had, that the way that some employers treat their employees are so unfair. And I felt that if I had my own place, that I would never treat people like that.
Wow.
And I will always treat them fairly. And then I also wanted to open up a place that had an environment that was friendly and comfortable, where anybody could come in and attend. And so this is where first it was Fitness by Julie, but Fitness by Julie has evolved, and we've actually opened up our studio, which is Commit to Be Fit Studio and Boutique. Okay.
All right. So what was the first iteration, as the journey in entrepreneurship is long, as like this in my journey? We hear the sirens in the background. We in the hood now. And I've traveled a long way because I've had offices and spaces in different places. And now I'm settled in here in my vision. But when did it start, and what was the initial what was those initial days when it comes to just that ebb and flow of what my dad says, and my dad's an entrepreneur too, just getting in money? Because I know me personally, and I see this in certain other entrepreneurs, and maybe not in you, but even charging a person for something that you love to do was difficult for me for a long time, because it's like, damn, I kind of really like doing this, and I don't know if they really got the money, or
right?
And I see a lot of young entrepreneurs like that. So what was that process like?
I had to realize that people do have the money, and we spend money on what we want to spend our money on. So it's not the fact that they don't have the money. It's just showing people that you have a product and a brand just as another business or another corporation that is worth them spending or investing their money and time into. Mm-hmm. And so that's what we had to build. And yes, it took a little bit of time, but you have to know, and you have to know your brand, and you have to be confident in your brand in order to sell yourself and have your prices according to that.
Mm. So when it came to just that learning curve, starting off, what was the first iteration? When the first day when you opened up, was it a class? Was it a workshop? What was the first thing you did?
Well, Commit to Be Fit Studio and Boutique opens today.
Okay. But when it started, just with what you do.
Yeah. So I first started my fitness journey by working for different gyms, I should say. Okay. And the reason I took that route is because I know I needed to build a fan base and a following. Okay. So it's hard to just jump on social media and say, hey, you guys, look at me. I'm a personal trainer and a fitness instructor, and nobody knows who the heck you are. So I went that route, started building up my class sizes, also working on my skill level as far as with interacting and connecting with everyone. Then from there, once I felt that I had reached my potential in those different situations, it was time for me to pull back. And actually, I started personal training at my home in my basement. Okay.
Who was your first client?
My very first client was actually my cousin, and her name is Letitia.
Shout out Letitia.
Yeah, that's my very first
bottom
client.
Dollar.
The very first client. Yeah. And she still comes to my classes today, which is super amazing.
That's really cool. So that, and let me say this, sometimes those are the toughest clients, people that have known you for a long time and you have already a rapport and relationship because you know the other layers of their life. Yes. You know, so in building and working with her, what did it teach you?
That I can do it. Even though you, like, once you get started and you're started, but you still have that, like, self-doubt, like, I know that I'm doing this, but can I really do this? Like, can I really, really accomplish my goals and reach the vision that I'm seeing in my head? Can I really get to that vision? So, it was a couple different bumps in the road. My favorite story is my very first boot camp that I held outdoors. Okay. It was actually at Baldock Park, and I had flyers, and I put them up at my old job, and I was just very excited. I had all my equipment, and literally, I think only one person showed, which was Letitia. My husband was there. Of course, you know, Mashawn was there. But when you're planning for about 20, maybe 25 people, and you put all this preparation into, and then you get one person, that can kind of make you, you know, retreat or give up or feel like, oh, this isn't for me. I'm a failure. I can't do this. And yeah, it was rough.
Now, those days for me sometimes are the days over time. Yeah, it's the gut check. It's definitely the gut check. But it also is a time where you can really work your craft and hone your skill. Yeah. As you learn to treat one as if they're that crowd of 100 or 1,000 or 10,000 or whatever. So, since then, with boot camps and marketing and getting other inclusion, what has been your method of operation?
I would say just making sure that I'm always being available and engaging more with my customers and clients. Because before, I would just put content out, or maybe a Facebook post or an Instagram post, but then I'm never available or on there to answer or respond, or maybe I don't have a website running, or just being more available to my customers.
Okay. What, in shifting in this, and we're talking about content world, because nowadays as a business, it's very important the way that you interface and engage. And I guess it's always been important, but before in a brick and mortar sense, because people came to places, now it's so many points of connection with people, you know, and you almost have to pick and choose what social networks to engage and how to respond. And, you know, liking other people's pictures, you know, you can literally work 8 hours and then get home and then spend 5 hours a day on social media commenting and liking birthday pictures and all of that stuff. How have you managed that flow?
I do it all the time, every single day, because I had to realize that that part of marketing is actually a part of my job. That's a part of my job. So through a lot of research, one of the things I had to find out was, or I should say, one of the questions that's asked of entrepreneurs are, where are your customers? Where are your customers? So I just kept asking myself, where are my customers? Where are my customers? My customers are on social media, all of them on some type of form of social media. So if they're there, I need to be there as well. And so I am. I make content posts on Facebook, and I only use Facebook and Instagram. Twitter is okay, but for what I'm doing, I found that that wouldn't be the most popular. But Facebook and Instagram are the two that I use.
And let me stop, and I want you to continue with your point. But just for anybody watching, and I use Instagram and Facebook and YouTube a little bit, but I just post and almost house it on YouTube. But for anybody watching, picking and choosing which platforms to use is also a method in your operation too.
It is.
So continue.
It is. But Facebook will always be number one, no matter how much people don't want to believe that Facebook is number one. Right now it is. And it has continued to just grow enormously, especially once you start to figure out who your target market is. Almost everyone has a Facebook page. Everyone does not have a Instagram, but everyone has a Facebook. No matter the age ranges, young, old, it doesn't matter. Almost everyone has a Facebook page, even if they don't use it. They've activated one at some point.
Okay, so in this journey of learning social media as well, expanding in to what has become your job, how do you still manage being you? How do you still manage just being a human being, being a wife, being a daughter, being a sister? What's because time can run away.
It can. You have to get really creative, and then you have to learn how to use these apps appropriately. So regardless of what, it's still an app. A lot of these apps have schedulers or scheduling methods. So actually what I do is, I don't know how everybody else uses or runs their business, but to be more balanced, which is my husband's word, balance, to be more balanced, I use a scheduler. You can actually go on to whichever social media platform that you use or choose, and you can schedule your content to post on certain days and at certain times. So if I sit down for one day, I can schedule content for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. So then I just get an alert like, hey, your picture of this saying this has posted at this time. And then now my job is to just respond and reply whenever I get a message.
Okay.
So it keeps it really simple.
All right. Now, when did you start noticing as you started having more intentions with your social media and engaging it, a change in welcoming an audience and growing of your business?
I think I noticed it when I became more serious about my craft. I was always doing like fitness stuff, but it wasn't consistent. I was doing a lot of pop-ups, but it's like, okay, well, Julie is working here. Okay, but now she's not working here. Okay, now she's here, but then now she's not working there. People need to know where you are on a more regular basis. That way you can develop a following. So once I became more serious and just zoned in on what exactly I was going to do, then that's when it really started to grow.
Okay, now you also talked about pop-ups. Is pop-up, it's a term, and like most things, and I guess this may be the nerd in me or the inner rapper in me, it's a culture in itself, and people have loose interpretations of what pop-up is nowadays.
Okay.
Please explain to you where pop-up fitness is in Detroit today, and what's a good method of approaching that for the person watching this, looking up to you and saying, okay, maybe I can try it through a pop-up way.
So what I've always found to work is to keep things very simple. So instead of trying to figure out what something means, go for exactly what it's called. If it's called a pop-up, you literally just pop up. And that's what I consider a pop-up. I would tell people maybe a week in advance that this is where I'm going to be, or sometimes two. That this is where I'm going to be on this day at this time. And I call it a pop-up, which lets them know that on that day next week or 2 weeks from now, I'm not going to be there. Or it's a possibility that I may pop back up again, but just not at that same location.
For the facilitators of a lot of this, like the event promoters or I guess nowadays there's so many different ways, event coordinators, organizations, like so many different interests, what ways can they really support having something in fitness be a part of what they're doing?
For event coordinators?
Because I'm sure you get those calls like, hey, my church is doing this, and we got a guy doing a hustle instruction, and then we also got the popcorn machine, and the kids gonna sing some stuff in the talent show. Can you do a yoga or something? How do I do that with integrity and actually arm you with the best in the most advantageous situation?
So what I do with events like that is I make sure I get as much information about that event that I possibly can from that person. But then I am really big on researching. Find out as much as you can about something before you actually give a commitment and say yes. Because what if you get there and it's completely outside of what you represent, or maybe you just don't want to be in that environment? So before I give a yes to anything, I make sure I always do my research, or even talk to someone that is that has been there or has done something like that at that place before. Then
let me say this. Wait, I know that sounds like very common sense, but just being a person that I've done it before, it doesn't happen often. So that's good. That is not just common sense advice, but apply that advice.
You have to apply it, because even before I came here today, I think I was on my laptop and I was putting in my work. Like, nobody paid me to research your podcast. I did that on my own because I wanted to be prepared. As soon as I found out, I knew a young lady that was actually on your show. I was calling her phone so fast. So now I can put the brakes on my own research, and I can get this excellent one-on-one advice and conversation from her, who I know is going to give me the real deal about the business. And then that can let me know, okay, do I need to say yes, I'm still going, or maybe I've changed my mind,
Yeah, you get the expert opinion on it, and you did. And a lot of people just don't. A lot of people say yes, or they say yes and are non-committal or really just don't even know the frame of reference for what the advantage is. And as we talk about these opportunities, as I'm a person that believes some of my best business success has come from collaborating through opportunities presented to me, having intentionality with knowing not necessarily like okay, so I meet this person, then they'll introduce me to Jesus, and then Jesus is gonna give me gold.
Right.
It's not like that as much as like, okay, in doing the act, this is what the success is.
Right.
Sometimes just me doing the act, I believe, is the success for me to get the experience. And then from there, now I can see where that folds into what I'm doing. But I have grown into learning more of that practice. But being that you're applying that too,
right,
it's good to know that I'm not going crazy.
No, it works. I feel like you really, Fitness by Julie, that has now opened up a studio, it could not have been possible if I was not willing to do the work. There were a lot of long hours that people did not see. So everyone sees the end result. They see the studio. They see the classes. They see those different things. But they didn't see me up till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Then, okay, teaching a class at 9. They didn't see that part. Or they see the website running. They can click on all the buttons and everything's working. And it's so cute. But it took a lot of hours to get that stuff done. And unless you're committed, then it's not going to get done.
Okay, now how are you choosing to collaborate with different people as you're very passionate about this? And you know, I love the tech world, the web world. Most of the money I make is based on I get paid for what people don't want to do themselves because they don't want to stay up till 4 a.m. figuring out how to change the color of their button on their website or make a landing page.
Right.
How do you pick and choose what to do and what to pay a person to do? And then furthermore, if you're going to pay for the service, which person to go to?
I have not picked anyone outside of myself because I believe that I'm like Superwoman and I can do all these things.
Okay.
So that part has yet to come. Basically, between my husband and I, we are pretty much able to get almost everything done. Does it take a lot of hours? Yes, but we save a heck of a lot because we're actually willing to just do the work. And it's not a form of laziness. It's just knowing and believing that you can do it. A lot of this stuff, or if people may not even believe it, but a lot of things you can do yourself if you pretty much just put in the work.
Okay, now as you talk about putting in the work and doing it yourself, comes the whole two things happen because this is how I've grown into my business. One, people start approaching you and wanting you to do it for them, A.
Yeah.
And B, you know, the old adage of jack of all trades and master of none. So I want you to give a take on both of those. So
when people ask me to do things for them or provide services for them, I just have to politely say, no, I can't do it for you, but maybe there's something that we can work out where I can possibly show you. And then that is where a fee would be applied. I believe in teaching each other. Our community can be so much stronger if we would just share. But sometimes we like to keep things such a secret because we don't want others to take our customers or steal our clients or whatever the term or phrase may be. But I believe in teaching. So not only are the women that see me, not only are they my clients, but they're also learning as well. Like, oh, wow, she opened up a studio, or how did you get your website running? How did you get this certain amount of customers? And, you know, so that is something that we're also working on as well because we want to make sure that this is something that's teachable.
Okay, now as far as the jack of all trades, master of none, as you take on more in the Superwoman zone of it, do you feel that it could take away from you just focusing on one dynamic and saying, this is what I'm doing and this is what I'm drilling down on?
Well, before there was Fitness by Julie, there were about 3 other businesses in there. Like, I had all these different things that I had started, and I owned all these different websites and stuff. And I had to just take a break and figure out, okay, what is really for me? Fitness is for me. So I'm not necessarily the jack of all trades because I am the master of my craft, which is fitness. Everything else that is on the side of there, I am investing back into my fitness. So as far as creating, whether it's videos, whether it's playlists, whatever it is that I need to get done for my business, right now at this time, I just feel like I can get it done.
And it's funny that you just gave that response too, because you're making me not feel crazy because I got a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like I try to move in derivatives that are closer to already where my interests lie. So it's basically opening doors that are deeper into where I'm going. So in my mind, it's down the same path. Now, if a person came to me or you and said, hey, you know, we can open the fitness used car lot, I'd be like, I'd say Detroit is different used cars. I'd say no, and I think you say no to the used car lot, and you'd say, all right, we may be able to partner creatively when we have a time to think about it, but I don't know if used cars doesn't fit in the vision of Detroit is different, you know.
I've learned to you just got to say no. Like either it works or either it doesn't. And if it's not just going down your straight path of what you're trying to do at that moment, then everything else has to wait. Like all my other business ideas and adventures, that doesn't mean that they're not possible. It's just right now I have to focus on this. And so I'm like super focused. Tunnel vision.
Now, tunnel vision of what you're focused on. Business opening today, ribbon cutting, the whole 9 yards. You got a grand celebration. What's happening? Break it down.
It is actually at 6:30 p.m. today. And we're having what we call a soft opening.
It's going to be back in time. So they're going to see this later. But it's opening June 4th, 2018. That means that if you're watching this, later, you can check it out.
June 4th, 2018, because I forgot that you have to timestamp stuff.
Yeah.
June 4th, 2018. So Commit to Be Fit Studio and Boutique is opening. We are not having a ribbon cutting. We are having a countdown.
Okay.
And basically, it was my husband's idea because he's like super awesome, right?
Okay.
So our doors are going to roll up and we are going to count down like the door roll up. Hilarious. And so, when the door rolls up, then you'll be able to walk in and you'll be able to see like everything that we have done to this amazing space.
Location. What's the address?
It is 11839 Gratiot. So actually, I'm still on the east side. I am in between Connors and Gunston.
Ain't that something? You still on the east side.
Not too far from. Still on the east side. You know what? And that's another thing that I had to learn too with marketing. And first I used to say it was marketing. Now I've learned about target marketing.
Yes.
Where are your people? So if I have grown this amazing following on the east side, why would I uproot and move to Southfield? That makes no sense. Or if I've grown this amazing community on the east side, why would I go to it? It doesn't make any sense. Everyone is east. So right now we are east as well.
And then that's a main thoroughfare. People can get to it. Most definitely. It's near where the inner city sub center is.
Yeah, it's right down the street from the 9th precinct.
Yep, down the street from the 9th
Literally,
precinct.
I'm on the same side.
Yep. And like everything on the east side, it's by the airport.
But
down the street from the airport. It's like
by the city airport. Oh yeah, right there. So that's what we are, and we are super excited just about the opportunity to even open up our business. And this is, I was gonna share this today, but I can give a pre-share on the show because one of the things that we want to get our community more focused on is actually their finances. And learning how to make their money work for them and not just spending it all on everything. My husband and I opened up our facility on our own. We did not do a Motor City match. We did not do a grant. We did not do any of those things. We worked, we saved our money, we reinvested into our business, and then here it is.
I like it. Now, as we talk about that, that goes into another layer where you have something that I don't have, but my parents had, and also my grandparents, where you are married and sharing in entrepreneurship. But it definitely always intrigues me because I've seen that business model my whole life because my mom was my dad's business partner. My granddad and my grandma, they were like, it was a part of the relationship. The children and the business, it was all in one thought process. Right. What is that type of relationship like, and how has that experience been for you?
It is so much fun. Every day you get to talk to and conversate about business and money and operations with your actual partner, someone that you know that has your best interest every single day. There's no question if they have their best interest or not. So things that you would have to worry about from someone on the outside, like, do they really have my best interest at heart? Are they playing with my books or numbers or stealing money or whatever? You don't have to worry about that because the business is working for like the family.
Somebody steals money, it's like it's only coming out of ourselves.
Exactly. And then if there's other things that we want to move around within that, we most definitely can, because this is for us. Okay.
Now, in this journey, what was the, like, who was the lead cheerleader? Who took the lead in this? Where like, this is what we're gonna do. How did it come together? Where now the marriage has extended into a business partnership as well.
I think this is something that my husband always wanted.
So
But
he was conjuring this up the whole
the
time.
whole time, like, he always believed that this is something that, you know, we could do. But with me being the front face voice, the workout person, I didn't have the confidence in myself to believe that I could do it. So even sometimes when you have that driving force behind you, if you don't feel like you can do it, then you'll never get it done. I didn't believe I could.
Now, what do you think was the struggle where the confidence has been built over time? Why did you have that doubt? As I definitely feel with what you're talking about in our community is very prevalent, and maybe even in American society. But in paramount of thought process, I think Black community, Detroit. And then I'm like, okay, America. That's kind of like my thought process. So why do you think that type of thought, and I find it often in a lot of like where self-doubt is so present?
We don't feed each other or plant those seeds within one another to know that you are worthy and you are able and you are capable. We need to start telling each other that more and more every single day. If somebody told you that every day, you would believe it without a doubt. If somebody said to you every single day, you can do it, 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 you're going to be like, oh, I can do it. But we don't have that every single day. So that has become our mission. You can do it. You are committed. You can be fit. You can lose weight. You are great. You are every single day, over and over and over and over and over. Until the point we put it in their head so much that they believe it and then they achieve it without even knowing that they achieved it.
Within that, something that I've also been fixated on recently is the value systems. So what are some of the value systems that you have in your relationship that ooze over into the ethics that you give into your business?
Honesty. Simple. Just be honest. Be upfront. If there's an idea that you have, state your idea. Your ideas are not your ideas are not stupid is a really easy way to put it. And once you get that idea out, let's talk about it. Let's see if it's really a good idea. And then even if he has an idea that I may not think is so, what, you know what, the perfect scenario for that is the carpet. Okay, so we went to go purchase these rugs. He wanted these rugs so bad, and I'm like, I really don't know about these rugs, but you know what? That is his idea. How about instead of shutting it down, how about we try it? Let's try it. And what we call things demoing. We'll demo it. We'll try it. Let's try it and see how it works. So when we actually got into the space, you know what? He was right. It worked perfectly. But just because I didn't necessarily see the vision at first, that doesn't mean that his vision isn't good. Let's just try it and see. So we've learned to just be honest. Just keep it real. If you have an idea, say what your idea is. Let's talk about the idea. Let's see if it works. If not, then we'll move on to another idea.
Thank you for that, and also thank you for giving a practical example of that.
Yeah.
And even in seeing that, something else existent sometimes, like I say, I think Black, Detroit, then America. So it may be in all three, but also just seeing that applied and it takes courage to even be honest, because the I guess the facade or the egos or the embarrassment, the self-doubt, the vulnerability it takes to be honest. In exercising that, what would you say to that person that like really needs to, be honest, but it's tough to be like, I don't know if you all saw like some of the principles I have. One of them I have is when it's hardest to tell the truth, that's when it's most need to be told, but it's still tough to apply that at times.
It is. I think my life, just as a woman, became so much better when I learned to just accept me for me and just learn to love me for me. So that was a form of honesty, to peel back all those layers and say, you know what, you don't have to pretend to be something that you're not, or even try to act like you or try to be like the next woman. Just be you. And it actually turned out to be a very beautiful thing, because now I can share that with other women. Like, hey, you don't have to be a pretender. It's okay to just if you like to eat roast beef every day, I don't know, then just eat it every day. Like, I don't know. But just be you.
Yeah, hopefully you're not getting it from Arby's.
I don't know
Go
the example to give,
place.
but yeah, I just try to always be open and relatable.
Okay. And in being open and relatable, I'm saying this as I just left the Naturally Fly. It was a Naturally Fly event, the 8th year at the Artist Village. Sweet Potato Sensations. Etta was there, but another podcast on this network, My Natural Hair.
I saw it.
And it's unique as it's grown like over time. And I'm learning so much more about natural hair. You have beautiful natural hair.
Thank you.
And transitioning into natural hair as one of their most listened to episodes. When was dating in natural hair? When did you make the choice to go natural?
When I felt like I actually going natural for me was not like this big epiphany thing. I know everybody has their different stories, but I just ran out of hairstyles. I was like, I really don't have anything else. My husband was so tired of weave. He was like, okay, I'm so tired of you wearing that weave. Couldn't really wear my hair down because it kept puffing up in the summer. Then I really didn't know how to take care of my hair. So it was like breaking and like all these other stuff. And actually both my sisters already had dreadlocks. Or locks, I'm sorry. But yeah, so I was like, you know what? Let me just try it. And I just went for it.
And that's the next question. How did your husband respond to the natural hair? Because
He
that was like
liked
one
it.
of the most. It's so funny how many people have listened to that dating and natural hair episode already. Like in like 2 days.
Yeah. He liked it. He was supportive. He was supportive of the phase. But that's another thing too, like that confidence piece. You're not going to feel confident sometimes, or those days where you're not feeling confident. It's really good to have someone to tell you, hey, you're beautiful. You look nice today. I love your hair. I love your makeup. Those earrings look good with that hairstyle. Like sometimes you just need that little, that little seed. And look, so he planted that little bitty seed and it turned into this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So little seed,
he's
we gave it some water
and moisturize every.
I was about to cut my hair about 6 times. I'm always going like, you know what? I should just cut my hair. I should go for a different look. But you know what? That he's watering the seed. No, babe, your hair is beautiful. Your hair is nice. And I'm like, I don't know if I really like it. But then when I curl it up and do different stuff to it, I'm like, oh, you're right.
Ain't that something?
So yeah.
Okay. So with that, this has been like such a cool conversation. Now I guess we can get into like what's more formal in journalism. If a person's interested in coming to one of your classes, they've never they may I assume different people in different journeys because especially with the it's a very intimate relationship. One of my homeboys, Maceo, has 40 Aging Backwards, and he does personal training as well. It's not like it's not like hiring somebody to detail your car or something where you can just walk off or something. Like you really get you're really becoming a friend of a person.
You are.
So if they're interested, how does that how do I join? How do I get started? What's the process of becoming a client if I have interest? Because I'm sure it's a lot of questions that I would have before I even go.
It is a lot of different questions. And once again, I'm available to answer them all. I'll answer a million questions. But they can contact me through my phone number, which is everywhere. It's 313-978-2729. And either I or my assistant Bree will answer the phone and, try to get all the questions and get the information answered that you need. Then you can go onto our website, which is www.committobefitstudio.net.
Okay, so that's where to start. And different what type of clients do you have too? Because that's another layer in it all too, because it's like you probably got nothing but skinny women, you probably got nothing but young women, you probably got nothing but tall women, like or you got nothing but women. I'm a man, I want to do this. What type of classes do you have? What type of clients do you have? And how open are you to whomever and what experience?
So my clients and my classes are based off of this. We want everyone to be able to feel a part and be able to come and have a wonderful experience. So the answer to that is everyone. There is not a person that I will not see or not take. Even if you have health issues, of course, I'm going to ask you to get a medical clearance, and then we'll be able to start. So people can get a better understanding of this. Me and my own personal journey, I used to be 220 pounds. I was overweight. I had a lot of issues going on with my back and my knees, where I felt like I didn't know if I was going to need like surgery or anything like this, but come to find out I was just carrying too much weight for my frame. So I dropped the weight, but then on the other side of that, I got really small. So right now I am carrying my natural weight and my natural size. This is how my body is comfortable, and this is the weight that I have maintained during this whole entire journey right here. But the smallest that I've ever been was 228 pounds.
Oh, the largest.
The smallest. I'm sorry. The smallest I've ever been was 128. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The largest that I've ever been was 220. I'm sorry.
Wow. So that's like 100-pound difference.
It was a big difference. So I've seen both ends of it. I know how it is to be super, super fit. All your muscles showing. Those pictures are still out there somewhere that I don't post that often. But yeah, with all your muscles showing. And then I also know how it feels to be overweight, not really feeling that confident about yourself. But then I also know how it is to be right here in this moment too, where you're just happy and enjoying your look, the way that you feel, and just enjoying life every day.
Okay. Now, in this journey of it, as I found, like, man, you know, the number one thing, and I work out, and Lord knows I'm back heavier than I'm supposed to be, and it's the diet thing that plays the role in this too. So like, how inclusive are your classes when it comes to dieting? Is it just fitness? What support do you give in reference to that as well?
So we give a lot of support. I have meal plans available. And those are customized. So in order to do a meal plan with me, we would actually need to talk, which can be started through a consultation on the website, or you can just give me a call and we'll just talk to go over your meal plan. And with the meal plans, we go over everything in your diet. I need to know, what are you drinking? What are you eating? I need you to give it all to me, so that way I can build a plan that is for you.
Okay. Now, in this world of so much information available, and a lot of people picking and choosing what to listen to, through the internet, you can almost find a justification for any act
you can
out there. You know, it's like, oh, I'm on the cigarettes and chitlins
water
diet.
Right.
So what does it take? What type of buy-in does it take for your clients to have to yield the best results that they're looking for?
I think results, or people to really understand or see that these meal plans and these fitness classes and personal training sessions actually work, is to see the results of others. And we have plenty. We have a young lady right now that's down 120 pounds. Another girl that's down 90. Another girl that's down 30. Well, it was 27. Then she just reported today that it's 30. So when they get to see those transformation photos and they come to class, and it's not this fake photo that has been photoshopped galore. You can actually meet this person. So if you see this girl on the website and we're saying, hey, this is so-and-so and she lost 90 pounds. And it's like, wait, if I come to the Tuesday night class, I can actually meet her? Yes, you can. She's right there looking just how she looked on the website, because we are real.
And then also, let me say this in that reference too. As I like working out too, in the idea, it's a lot of just being in shape to work out as well. So in that transition, if I'm starting basically bare from scratch, like I like running, you know, and people are like, you like running? I'm like, yeah, I like running. But you have to get in shape to run. You have to get in shape to lift. What's the process in helping a person that may have, maybe just
a beginner?
Not really, yes.
Yep. So my classes are for everyone. Right now, the class that I am currently running is the hip hop step class. So it's step aerobics without all of the crazy moves and terms. Basically, we took a class and we formed it or modified it to tailor the needs of everyone. So it's not a routine. I took the routine thing all the way out. There's a lot of videos too on YouTube and on the website, but I'm actually in the class working out with you and calling those moves with you. So that way, if you walked in the first day, you'll be able to do it.
Wow.
On the very first day.
Wow.
So we do have a practice class, which is Thursday nights at 6:30 p.m. where you can come in and you can practice for 30 minutes. But other than that, before each class starts, I practice with you before each class starts. It's very short, like maybe 3-4 minutes, but you at least get an example or a quick demo of what you're expected to do or some moves for you to try before you actually do it. But with the more jumping and the more turning and hopping around you do, you can make it really intense, or you can make it more low and more modified by just, keeping it simple and a little bit more slow paced.
Okay. Last two questions, because I assume you have a lot of women in the class. They may have little homies. So what's the kid? What if I got my kid? Are kids in any of the classes? Do they join in?
Yeah.
What happens?
So what we do for children, there are some women that don't have babysitters. If they are old enough to sit down and maybe watch a movie on a tablet, say if they're like 7 or something like that, and they just have to come and just, watch. But because we had that growing demand, we actually started Kids Fitness. The first day is Saturday. So Saturday at 9 a.m., you can bring your child and they can come and they can work out. One of the coaches is Michon, who will be there, and you see he's in shape. So he will be dealing with the training side for the boys and young men, and then I myself will be dealing with the young women and the little girls. That way they can get a workout as well, and then they can go sit down, and now mommy and dad can go to their step aerobics class.
I can already see that class. Like,
it's going to
push-ups to him. It's gonna be like, all right, Andre, we're gonna all do push-ups together.
So Michon has been a coach of different sports for a lot of years. There are a lot of children that he has touched and reached throughout the years, and so he supports me in fitness and I support him in that. But with us opening up this studio, that brings another element to it, because what we want to do for our community, we want to give our children and also our families a space to bring their kids where you don't have to commit to a membership. Our facility is not a membership. You come in, you purchase your class or your class package. If you want to continue, then you buy more classes. But we don't want to say, okay, in order for you to attend, you have to buy this uniform. Then you have to come out of another $50 by purchasing this. Oh yeah, now we're going to take a trip here, and that's another $125. Why can't our kids just work out and be fit and get in shape by just working out? Why do we have to belong to an organization? Why can't we just work out?
I like it.
So yeah.
Last question before I get into my classic Detroit is Different questions.
Okay.
Guys, because I know it's just society. I'm being real. Some women may not feel comfortable working out in the same room with men. And, some guys is like, damn, them Lululemons. You know
Let
what
me
I'm
tell
saying?
you.
It's like, I came here to yoga, but what's your IG?
Not these classes, okay?
I mean, but I know I have to ask.
No, let me tell you. Usually, most classes or the people that come to class are going to operate and function the same way as the instructor or the owner. And as you see, we are just like really down to earth. We just like to have fun. Like, we just love life and we just want to enjoy life. And so usually everyone that comes to class is the same way. Okay. No, men come to class all the time. It is the best thing ever. Okay. We invite them in because we want our black men to be in shape. We want them to be healthy. I want to marry you, and then I don't want you to die. I want to marry you, and then I want to enjoy you like for the rest of my life. So in order for that to happen, you have to take care of yourself. We both have to take care of ourselves. And so they come in and work out, and they're well receptive. It's no problem.
Okay. So that's good that you set that standard, because I think that the thirst is real with guys, and then sometimes just the body image issues of bringing a man in a dynamic can change a whole room of women.
Oh no, they get real. No, they love it.
Okay, all right. I've seen it.
The outfits get sexier, and we just be like, "Ooh, you look sexy today." Somebody must be coming to class.
With that sequins purple.
The outfits get sexier, and we just commend them for wearing a sexy outfit. Yeah,
came out of them jogging pants.
Yeah, and the shirts get tighter. The shirt, they start losing weight. The white t-shirts get a little tighter. We be like, okay, welcome, thank you for coming. But yeah, no, it's just all around just fun experience. I mean, we're all about results and losing weight, but our whole thing was just to make it fun again. So we still want you to come in and work hard and push and get your results, but we want you to have a good time doing it. So yeah, you'll be able to mingle and interact with each other. There are men and women in the classes. It's all ages. It's all races. There's different spiritual or religion beliefs in the same classes. So yeah, it's an environment for literally everyone.
Okay.
Literally everyone.
Okay, and the last point of everything is always the Detroit is different questions. Mm-hmm. Very first car, what was it? What year did you get it, and what year, make, and model was it made?
Don't laugh.
Okay.
I've never bought a car.
Wow. Okay. So
I've never owned a car.
Ain't that something? That something? That may be actually a good thing.
I don't know. You got to ask my husband. Is that a good thing?
It may be a good thing.
No.
My husband has purchased every single car we have ever had.
Ain't that something?
I've never bought a vehicle. So even when I was younger and I would be driving around the Suburbans and Thunderbirds and stuff like that, they weren't mine.
Okay. So next question. You're a DJ. It's the end of the fireworks. Woodward and Jefferson. You get to play 3 songs. What 3 songs are you playing?
Let me see. Oh my gosh, my songs are like so corny. I'm the end of the fireworks. Mm-hmm. 3 songs. It's kind of hard to say because this is the funny thing about me. I've been teaching classes and stuff for so long, and music is my life. So how about I really don't listen to music with lyrics?
Okay.
I listen to like a lot of jazz.
Okay. What songs would it be? I always have to hammer people on this.
Let me see. Okay, so if I had to pick, I don't know. I listen to whatever my husband listens to. Give me 3 songs.
Beyonce.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm a huge Beyonce fan.
Okay.
So I would play Beyonce XO.
Okay.
I would play something of Jay-Z's. I don't know. Something.
Gotta pick something.
I would play maybe Excuse Me. I like that.
Okay.
And let me see. That would be like song 1, 2, and then like the very last song, it would have to be I don't know. I'm just gonna choose something. I guess another Beyonce song.
Okay.
I don't know. Ring the Alarm.
Okay. There we go.
Just anything.
And the last question: if you could rename Woodward after one Detroiter, who would it be and why?
I'm gonna pick Mashawn Lynk.
Okay. Why?
Because that's my husband's first and last name.
Okay.
And he's the driving force behind everything, so you can drive down. Woodward.
I like it. Thank you. I think this will be people in Detroit's different world will be seeing more of the both of you.
I hope so.
I can't wait to get into my Coach Snoop discussion and interview with your husband.
Oh my gosh, no, this is the funniest thing. So technically, like, nobody really knows how he looks. This is the funniest joke. Like, oh my gosh, I hate this joke. Nobody really knows how he looks unless they see him like in person and they have to ask, like, hey, are you Sean? Because he thinks he's Batman, like in real life, and so you never really know like his true identity.
We may go MF Doom style.
Oh.
That'll be a very interesting interview. Like give him the Ghostface Killer white mask.
Oh
They'll
my
be like,
gosh.
who are you interviewing? Is he an FBI informant?
This is most definitely. Yeah, you should most definitely do his next because you can get another corporate side, because that is what he does.
Get the Nikki Barnes voice.
Seriously.
Like, I was there.
Seriously. No picture. You can never see this man's face, like, ever. It's the most. I have so many Facebook Live videos where I'm like, can you please get in the video? And he's like, I'm not getting in the video. Why?
Hilarious.
Yeah. But this was awesome. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. This was real fun.
Yes.